So once we will come back over here. Now let's quickly log in as a user account. The first thing is, since we already see there is a SQL injection vulnerability, so what I will do is I will just first quickly create an account. Let's me quickly create an account. The account is completed successfully. Let's log in. Now what I will do is I will just quickly pull off a cognitive mode over here, and I will now try to access the unauthenticated functionality of authenticated user as an unauthenticated user to check if there is any direct request vulnerability. A lot of time the applications are vulnerable to direct request, and this is what I am going to check right over here. So if you see that there are right now only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 URLs, and there are a bunch of URLs. So the first thing is I will go to this track order, and then I will just quickly go over here and then just paste over here and see if I can access this track order thing or not. And as you can see that as an unauthenticated user also I can track anything. Right now I will just provide any random ID, and then it will tell me whatever things are there, right? So this is something the normal user is not having access to, but I am still, being a normal unauthenticated user, I can access. And since it's not that much sophisticated, it's easy to guess a person can go and perform a direct request attack out there, right? So since there is also an ID parameter, this seems an interesting parameter to me. What I will do next is I will again go to SQL map. This time, since it's a GET request, there is no cookies required. I will say -u, and then I will say star over here, and it says that no parameter found for testing for provided data. What I will do is I will just say this, then what I will do is, again, there is some, okay, just remove this particular hash. And this time you should be able to run the SQL map successfully, and let's see if we get something interesting from there. Let it run. It will just ask us some specific questions, time, and it still says that it's not injectable, but we will check this later on as well once manually. So now again, going back to our main goal, let's say if I can access this recycle bin over here. As you can see, I can still access all the resources from an unauthenticated attacker, which are actually accessible to the authenticated user. Although right now I'm not sure if I can carry out all the functionalities, but you will see that I can still do some specific things, but I won't be able to add an address, as it says that please log in to view this page. So there are some pages which are protected, but some others which are not. Now let me see if complaint feature is accessible to me or not. I will just go here and say complaint, and as you can see that this complaint feature is accessible to an unauthenticated user, and as an unauthenticated user I can upload a file. This is something really interesting, and this is something that you will not see over here. So this is an interesting attack vector, that an unauthenticated user can perform the file upload, and if it's successful, it should be a previous escalation issue, right? So let me just quickly say a message test and click on submit. And let's see if I can submit something successfully. I need to upload a file. So this usually uploads a particular in the PDF format. So let me quickly pull up a PDF file. .pdf. We'll just pull up a PDF file, image magic md exec PDF, any random PDF file. Then click on submit. I'm not sure if it's submitted actually. It says no file chosen. Let's go back again. Let's say .pdf. Just again submit, and it's not taking them. Let's try from this side if it works. PDF. And again this side as well, this is something being generated, but from this side it's not getting generated. So what we will do next is, once we have a file upload functionality, let's check for some of the file upload test cases. So I will just put burp one side, and then we'll upload some of the files while capturing the request with the burp proxy. I will upload a file. say any random thing. We'll click on submit. As you can see that this is not RK. Okay, this is the file which I am interested in right now. So this is a PDF file having some image magic, this command which basically do a curl to the attacker.com and generate some whoami into the base64 script. And this is it. The first thing I will go and check is send it to the repeater, do intercept response to this request, and see what is the response is like. So it simply says that there is no content, it just process the file, that's it, right? So let's just, okay, so this is all it does right now. So no content again. So what I will be doing next is I will check if I can basically do // and go a directory back. Again, the file is successfully showing this 204 no content, but there is no way that right now I can see if the file is actually uploaded or not. And I'm not sure if there's any directory where I can go and check the file. So what I will do again is I will go and try to upload a new file. I will say intercept on any random message. I will then go and say // do intercept response to this request. Again, no content, but let's wait. We'll see if there's any other request being made. So you will see that in the complaint, there is something called user ID and a message which is being thrown. So let me just quickly send it to the repeater. And also what I will do is I will change this user ID to, let's say, 10. Let's see if I can do an IDOR over here and if I am able to simply post a complaint as another user. And as you see, the successfully created, this is successfully created from some other user, and the user ID now here is 10 and the ID of this particular complaint is now 4, and there is no file uploaded. Reason being because I guess that the file is actually moved to some other origin, because I said this //4, right? And the location of this particular API is complaint/4. So I guess I can also go and access this complaint using this particular API. So customer support will get in touch with you soon. Your reference is 4. So what I will do next is I will just copy this up URL, paste it over here, and since the value was 4, I will just quickly say 4, and it says that unauthorized no authorization header was found. So next thing I will do here is I will just simply send it to another repeater window. Since there is an authorization barrier over here, I will simply change the request method to get and say 4 over here, and let's see if I can access it. So if you see that right now, this gives me some unauthorized user error. Now let me change this to 3 and see if I can access the complaint. Again, there is some error, so this is, I guess, not intended way that I can access it. Let me quickly go back to our this user ID. The complaint is generated, file is null, and in this case of file upload, there is nothing as such. Now again, let's quickly go back, do another file upload. Some bit. This is the file. This time I'm not changing the file name or anything over here. The goal is to see if that now I can actually see the file path or not. And again, this time the file is also null, so probably this is not an issue that is being happening over here. But I can successfully post a complaint as some other user, and I guess there might be some other way where I can access if I can see the complaints. We will check in a while if there is any such option in the API itself. So let's quickly move on to the next thing. Let's see if there is any option as such in the application. It seems there is no option as well. Okay, so now let's do one more thing that we can do over here is administrative. This is the point where we were trying to navigate when we were not authenticated, but right now if you can see, if I try to authenticate this particular point, I might be able to access it. Let me just quickly, administration is the exact point. This administration point. And still there is some unauthorized user error, as I was able to see before. So what I will do is I will quickly log it out and then go to account, click on login. Using our SQL injection, we will log into admin account. Replace this search to administration. And I should be successfully able to access this admin UI. As you can see, I can access this particular admin UI. Let me refresh it. And you can also see that there are some multiple customer feedbacks which I can delete, right? So what I will do is, I again solved some challenge. So this application shows whenever you solve a challenge. So this is something we are not interested in. We are more of doing a penetration test over here. So there are a lot of users which you can list and see. There are some customer feedback tables. So I guess these are dynamically handled by some SQL database, and this is where we can also try to do SQL injection. But what we will do is, now we will try to delete some of the things. So delete API feedbacks 1. So what I will do is I will send it to the repeater, but I will delete this thing from the normal user session, which was here. I will go and say delete. Right now the feedback number 1 is deleted, but let's see if I can delete the feedback number 2 using the normal user session. And it's also a success. And let's see if this thing is deleted. Let me just delete some more. It's again a success. Let it load. And you can see that there are some feedback which are deleted. So let me just quickly also delete this feedback again. Let's say 4, let's say 5, let's say 6. 65 is something which is not found. Let's 6, let's 7. And right now there are like some, and let's see if they are deleted or not. And as you can see that those comments are deleted, and this is a simple priv escalation that using some other users, a non-admin users authorization token, I am able to basically delete the admin users, the functionality which an admin user can basically do, right? So this is again a security issue, a simple priv escalation. But again, in this case, you will need to have access to this endpoint, and this is not a big like this is not encrypted or having any kind of non-guessable thing. You can easily guess it, and the keys or the feedback IDs are also like in the numerical sequence form. So this is again a priv escalation issue. Now let's quickly go and see what are there. So this is where you can go and see the users. So let's see what are the other functionality of this particular user. I guess these are the basic functionality. Apart from the normal functionalities are there. So let me then go to some other features, like let's say go to this profile, user's profile. Then let's say in this particular URL, let me go and say work collaborator URL over here, generate a collaborator. Now, why I am giving a gravatar URL? The gravatar URL should be like they should use a whitelist on this gravatar, because the gravatar should be like only a single URL, https www.gravatar.com/avatar and avatar ID. So they should not accept any arbitrary URL. So let me just quickly click on this and click on link gravatar. And as you can see that they try to fetch something. Let me just quickly pull it. And as you can see that I received an HTTP interaction, and this is a simple indication that this might be vulnerable to server-side request forgery attack. We will further explore this attack, but for a while, this is something that you can do. Now, let me just name the admin as a test and go here and go to proxy intercept on, click on set username. As you can see that their username is test. What I will do is I will also go to this email. I will just first of all send this to repeater. Go to this repeater, click on send, and see if there is anything which tells me that what is the email. But since seems like there is a redirection, and let me just quickly verify it, validate it. If there is something which tells me that there is an email input button, but nothing again. So what I will do is I will guess a blind parameter, as in like I will just simply go and add email equals to hbotra22@gmail.com and username equals to test. And let's see if this successfully updates my email as well. If it does, this would be more of a client-side validation bypass issue, but since it doesn't actually do anything over here, so what I will do is I will also try, instead of putting email, I will just try to put mail. Just follow redirection, refresh this page. And again, nothing happened. So more of this is not a vulnerable field. Last try would be to actually remove this username field and only keep the email field. Let's see if this works out. Follow redirection. So this is actually something which might not work out. The image size should be less than 1 KB. I am just uploading any GIF file, and as you can see that the MIME type is undefined. So what I will do is I will click on choose file. I will capture this request and I will go to this payload all things master directory. You can go online and find it out. Then XSS injection. Go to files, upload SVG file, click on upload picture, and in this MIME type, simply say image JPEG. Send this to repeater. Let's see if this actually bypass the restriction and we are able to upload something interesting or not. So it says unsupported media type application XML. So this is again something which is filtering out the application type as well. So now we know that the application filters multiple things. One is the MIME type. Second one is the application type. Okay. So what we will do is next, we'll simply turn on intercept, go back, intercept off, click on choose a file. I will just simply take any JPG file, let's say this one, intercept on, upload this PNG file, upload picture. We'll send it to the repeater so that I know that what is the content type this time. The content type is image PNG. And as you can see, this time this thing is accepted and this is uploaded successfully. So what I will do this time again is we'll go to burp suite, we'll upload an SVG file, we'll upload a picture, we'll change this to image PNG, and let's say where else the XML thing is there. So I will simply go to this repeater tab and the content type, I will just take this accept. This is the same thing, I guess. There should be no issue at all. Just out of this. Yeah, looks good. The content type is also same. This should upload. Let's see what's the repeater. So again, it says unsupported media type. So I guess they are also validating this file name. So what I will do is I will do this simply dot png dot svg. Send this to repeater and let's say if this is accepted. Again, this is unsupported media type. So let's say svg.png, send this to repeater. Again, this says unsupported media type, so I guess this is also validating this XML. I will just simply remove it. And let's see if the application accepts. There can be a multiple ways to test this functionality, but this is something that we check for double extension attack, we check for triple extension attack, and there are a lot of things which you can actually go and check. Not everything is we can do right over in a single video, but there are a lot of things which you can go and check. Again, when we will move towards the end of the series, I will also look at the walkthrough, and we will follow the walkthrough of the OAS Juice Shop and see some of the attacks, that how they are implemented specifically to this particular application, right? So this is something we will also be looking at. Let it load. I guess there are some results. Service unavailable. So there it seems like there is some kind of denial of service or something happened due to some issue. The application says that application error. It might be possible that my Heroku instance had some issues. Now I will go back. Go to this account. Let's see what's inside the track orders functionality. They are actually accepting some of the ID and reflecting it. So again, check for reflected accesses. Image src equals to x on mouse over equals to 1. Let's see. So there is no image yet. Okay, there is an image, and as soon as I over the mouse this image icon, so this is the event handler on mouse over. So as soon as I over my just hover my mouse over it, it just pops up the payload. So you can always try for multiple access vectors. So this is one of the interesting access payload which I often use. I like mostly the image tag and the audio video tags. This is something which gives me a lot of useful information. So now what we will do is we will also now register as a new user. Let's see that what we can do. Okay, so let's do something over here interesting. Let's register some user, and let's see if we can escalate privileges while registering the user. Not yet a customer. Email Hirsch at the Hirsch. Capture the request with Burp suit. And you can see that this is the email password, security question, ID, and everything. Now I will send this to repeater, and we'll see if there is any role parameter. If you see, there is a role parameter called customer, right? And they actually accept SVG, but I'm not sure why they were not accepting my SVG. What I will do is I will simply change email over here, and I will add another field, again a parameter pollution attempt, and another field called role, and I will say role equals to let me see how they defined it. Okay, they defined in a string format, and I will go over here and say admin, and let's again send this request to repeat for our tracking purpose. Oops, I missed it, I guess. So what I will do is I will again change an email to 1-2 and just send it. I guess they are not okay. So as you see that now the role is admin. Now I will log in with this user Hirsch at hirsch12.hirsch, and let's see if I can actually be an admin user hirsch11 hirsch12.hirsch and password hirsch. And now to verify, we will just navigate to this administration functionality. And as you can see, this is a really simple escalation, and this is always a good idea to make sure that you always check the parameter which are available in the response but are not reflected in the request, and then try to add those parameters into the request and see if you can actually do something interesting, right? And as you can see that now I'm an admin user, I can do everything an admin can do, and this is totally a critical issue because I don't need anything, I don't need any user interaction, I just need to create an account, see what are the response parameters, add a response parameter to the request, and that's all I have to do. So now we will look at some more interesting attacks as we go.